بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعن سعيد بن يزيد قال أمر عمر أبي بن كعب وتميم الدارية أن يقوم للناس في رمضان بإحدى عشرة ركعة، فكان القارئ يقرأ بالمئين حتى كنا نعتمد على العصا من طول القيام، فما كنا ننصرف إلا في فروع الفجر. رواه مالك. الإمام سعيد بن Yazid rahmatullah alayhi, he says that radiallahu anhu, right? He says that Umar radiallahu anhu commanded Ubay bin Ka'b and Tamim Dari to stand to lead the people in Ramadan with 11 rakats. Then the Qari would recite 100 and above ayats until we would support on a stick from the lengthy standing. So we would not turn around except just close to Fajr, narrated by Imam Malik. As Ubay bin Ka'b and Hazrat Tamim Dari, they were appointed by Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu. Sometimes he became Imam, sometimes. So it could be that they both would half, they would have Imamat over one night, or it could be that one night he would read and one night he would read. And in this hadith, you see they got 11 rakats. However, it is established that as Umar radiallahu anhu, he confirmed 20 rakats. So regarding this hadith, it's possible that sometimes 20 rakats were read and sometimes 11 rakats were read. Or it could mean that most of the time 20 rakats were read. And just to show that this is also established 11 rakats, therefore he sometimes made them read 11 rakats. Or it is possible that initially he also practiced on 11, but afterwards he confirmed it and settled it on 20 rakats. All right. Now, when it comes to Nafil Salah and standing, supporting oneself, like I said, the 20 rakats, then if you've got an excuse, then to a greater extent is permissible. If you don't have an excuse, then also it is permissible for the Nafil Salah. وَنِلْ أَعْرَجِ قَالَ مَا أَدْرَكْنَا النَّاسَ إِلَّا وَهُمْ يَلْعَنُونَ الْكَفْرَةَ في رمضان قال وكان القارئ يقرأ سورة بقرة في 8 ركعات فإذا قام بها في 12 ركعة رأى الناس أنه قد خفف. رواه مالك. Nazeem was at Araj said, we did not find the people except that they would curse the kuffar in Ramadan. And the Qari, he would recite Surah Baqarah in 8 rakats. So when he stood up with Surah Baqarah in 12 rakats, then the people saw that indeed he had lightened the Taraweeh. Right. Now this hadith doesn't say that for the entire Ramadan they cursed the kuffar, or for the second half of Ramadan. It's more likely that it's the second half of Ramadan, so that it can be coincide with all the other hadiths, which shows that the second half of Ramadan they would recited Dua Qunut. Right. And the reason for making lanat on the kuffar in this month of Ramadan is because the kuffar reject this great month of Ramadan. When it comes to the number of rakats in Taraweeh, then Nabi Karim Sallallahu number was not definite, right? Sometimes 8 rakats, sometimes 11, sometimes 13, sometimes 20, right? However, Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, he now fixed it on 20, and Sahaba Ikram all agreed to this, and this was the practice of Hazrat Usman and Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu. They continued that the Sahaba Ikram should read 20 rakats. When Abdullah ibn Abi Bakr قال سمعت أبيا يقول كنا ننصرف في رمضان من القيام فنستعجل الخدمة بالطعام مخافة فوت السحور وفي أخرى مخافة الفجر. رواه مالك. As Abdullah ibn Abi Bakr says, I heard Ubay radiallahu anhu saying that we used to turn around in Ramadan from Qiyamul Layl, right? Then we used to hasten, seek to hasten the khadims, right? With the food out of fear of missing Sehri. And in another riwayat, out of fear of missing Fajr, by Imam Malik. When Aisha radiallahu anha Nabi Sallam قال هل تدرين ما في هذه الليلة يعني ليلة النصف من شعبان؟ قالت ما فيها يا رسول الله. فقال فيها أن يكتب كل مولود بني آدم في هذه السنة وفيها أن يكتب كل هالك من بني آدم في هذه السنة وفيها ترفع أعمالهم وفيها تنزل أرزاقهم. وقال يا رسول الله ما من أحد يدخل الجنة إلا برحمة الله تعالى. فقال ما من أحد يدخل الجنة إلا برحمة الله تعالى ثلاثا. قلت ولا أنت يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم؟ ووضع يده على هامتي فقال ولا أنا إلا أن يتغمدني الله منه برحمته يقولها ثلاث مرات. رواه البيهقي في الدعوات الكبير. Then Aisha radiallahu anha said, Nabi Akram said, do you know what is in this night? That is a night of the half of Shaban, the 15th of Shaban. So she said, what is in it, O Nabi Akram? So he said, in it is that every child to be born in this year is written, and it is that every person to die in this year from Bani Adam is written. And in it, your amals are raised, and in it, your rizq descends. So she said, Oh Nabi Akram, nobody will enter Jannah except with the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Nabi Akram said, nobody will enter Jannah except with the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thrice. So I said, and neither you, O Nabi Akram. So he placed his hand on his head and said, neither me except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has encompassed me with his rahmat. And he said this 3 times by Bayhaqi. So in this dunya, those people that will be born and those that will die, it's written. So all this is already written in Lawh Mahfuz, and then the 15th is written down again, right? And when Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha, she heard that everything is all written down already, and therefore she says nobody will enter Jannah except with the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not dependent on our amal, rather we are dependent on the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, we have ayat which says, Tilka jannatu allati urithumuha bima kuntum ta'malun. That is a Jannah which we have inherited because of what amal you did. So the answer to this here is that the amal is the apparent reason you are entering Jannah, but the haqiqi, the real reason you are entering Jannah is because of the fazl and the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right. And then again, doing good actions is also dependent on the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you didn't get the tawfiq from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you would not get you would not be able to do good actions. So that in itself is shows that the actual reason you enter in Jannah is because of the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which gave you the tawfiq to do good deeds. Some ulama say that to enter the Jannat, you need the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then your amal, its purpose is to give you the different stages in Jannat. Right. When Nabi Musa al-Ashari radiallahu anhu qala inna Allah ta'ala la yattali'u fi laylati nisfi min Sha'ban فيغفر لجميع خلقه إلا لمشرك أو مشاحن. رواه ابن ماجه ورواه أحمد عن عبد الله بن عمرو بن العاص وفي روايته إلا اثنين مشاحن وقاتل نفس. Then Abu Musa al-Ashari radiallahu anhu from Nabi Karim said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pay special attention on the night of the 15th night of Shaban. Then he forgives his entire creation except the mushrik, or except a person who harbors hatred in his heart. Narrated by Ibn Majah and Ahmad, narrated for Abdullah ibn Amr al-As, and in his riwayah except 2 people. The one is the person who harbors hatred in his heart, and the other is the one who has killed another person. Right, so all the people will be forgiven on this night here, except kufr. Anyone who makes kufr, then that won't be forgiven. And then also hukukul ibad. You hurt somebody else, that you have to now get yourself forgiven by that person. Right. And so here the person here now who harbors hatred for the next person, and this hatred is based not for some dini matter, but rather on some worldly and desire and based on base desires, and therefore that hasad is what is mazmum, and therefore he won't. That will deprive him of getting forgiven. Some other riwayat also says those who break family ties, right, and likewise those who wear their trousers below their ankles, and also those who disrespect their parents, and those who continuously drink wine, and those who collect taxes unlawfully, zulman, what zulm, and then also those who make jadoo, and those who do fortune telling, right, and those who dance and play the drums. So they also are some of those people who won't get forgiven on this night. وعن وعن علي رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله إذا كانت ليلة النصف من شعبان فقوموا ليلها وصوموا يومها فإن الله تعالى ينزل فيها بغروب الشمس إلى السماء الدنيا فيقول على من مستغفر فأغفر له على مسترزق فأرزقه على من مستغفرين فأغفر له على مسترزق فأرزقه على مبتلا فأعافيه على كذا حتى يطلع الفجر رواه ابن ماجه. Ali said, Nabi Akram says, when it is the 15th night of Shaban, then stand up in its night and fast in its day, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends in it with the setting of the sun to the Samai Dunya. Allah descending in Allah's special rahmat, right? Focus is close by. So then he says, is there anyone to seek forgiveness so I can forgive him? Is there anyone that's seeking sustenance so I can give him sustenance? Is there anyone that's in some calamity, then I can free him of that calamity? Is there so and so? Is there anyone that's got Allah kada, whatever other problem you're in, and this will continue right until Fajr Salah. Right. So that is the time from the sunset already. Right. Okay. Right. We find most of the Sahaba Ikram, as Umar Jalana, Ibn Mas'ud Jalana, they would read this to us. Allahumma in kunta katabna ashqiya'a fa'amhahu waktubna sa'da'a. Allah, if you had written us as bad people, then wipe it out and write us as good people. وَإِن كُنْتَ كَتَبْنَا سَعْدَاءَ فَأَثْبِتْنَا فَإِنَّكَ تَمْحُو مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُثْبِتُ عِنْدَكَ أُمُّ الْكِتَابِ. And if you have written us as good people, then establish it and do not wipe, because indeed you wipe out whatsoever you wish, and you can establish whatever you wish. And by you is Umul Kitab. In other words, everything is already recorded by you. So this shows the 15th night of Shaban, the greatness of making ibadat. Although the Salafis, they don't believe in this, right? The 15th night, and they find that the ahadith, they find they have problems. They say the hadith is weak regarding the virtue of the 15th night of Shaban. So there are many hadiths though, and all these hadiths together, they gain strength and gives you the virtue of standing up on the 15th night of Shaban. Okay, leave it to me.